Uh, do we have any preamble, or do I just want to put in the clip from last week where you're explaining the movie?
That would actually be kind of funny. My preamble for you is I went to look up the movie title again, and I was like, yeah, it's something like something about Vietnam, and then I looked up homunculus in Vietnam, and then I looked up the actual name of the movie, which is Buckaroo Banzai. And I was like, how the fuck did I get homunculus of Vietnam from Buckaroo Banzai?
So I actually edited the episode last week, surprising. Yeah. And why don't we start this fucker first?
All right.
Rachel, I want you to blind review The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
All right. Contrary to the sort of skippy jaunty name, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai is actually a really serious documentary about Buckaroo Banzai during the Vietnam War. He's actually a Vietnam veteran, not on the U.S. side, but on the Vietnam side. And it's about his harrowing tales in the trenches and the different... I'm not super familiar with all the terminology because a lot of the movie's in Vietnamese, and I just read the subtitles, so it's kind of hard to get all the wording right. But there was a lot of different warfare tactics that the Vietnamese used during the Vietnam War. And it's really just him talking about his family and, getting really ill from all of the, mud and rain and shit that they had to slog through while fighting the U.S. military. And it's such a beautiful biopic about the parts of the Vietnam War that we gloss over. And the trials and tribulations, much like the Squids, the trials and tribulations that the poor Vietnamese people had to go through during that time.
I can't believe you made that movie sound boring.
Welcome to We Have That Podcast at Home, the only podcast filmed in front of a live studio audience in the 8th dimension. I'm on Brand Gamage, and I'm at the very, very back end of a cold, so my voice is kind of hickory. Do I sound better like this? Is this how radio show hosts actually sound?
Yeah, I feel like you sound like smooth jazz is going to start playing.
God damn it.
Are you upset by the smooth jazz? Should I pick a different
genre?
On
Brand Rachel. And I've got spaghetti for fingers. I don't know what I'm doing.
And this is my co-host, Hickory Smoke Gamage.
I'm Mickey Mouse. You suck.
Fuck you. You asked a question. I answered it. Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Anyway, we each week we spin a wheel.
Last week we did spin a wheel. You're not wrong.
Wildly. We throw our arms out spinning that wheel to figure out what we're going to do for the next week.
And we pray to God it lands on something good.
Yeah, because we don't have plans. That's not what we do. We're one of those directionless podcasts. Maybe, I don't know if you've ever heard of them before. There's only one in a millions of them. I don't know at this point. But we're one of them, and thank you for listening. Have a good night. Goodbye.
Thank you for being here in our directionless void. We're psyched to have you.
No, last week we did our 100th anniversary episode, and we did a blind movie review, and I pulled a fucking movie out of my ass, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, and I told Rachel to describe the movie, and...
I described the most haunting visage of Vietnam for some reason. Where did homunculus come from? I don't remember.
Specifically, you described this documentary, this boring documentary of a Vietnam War vet, and homunculus wasn't anywhere in there. By the way, at the very end, you said I don't know something about a homunculus in Vietnam, and I don't know where the homunculus part came in.
I know we were trying to spell homunculus at one point. I just don't know how that
got merged with the description because I knew where Vietnam came from. But I was like,
Yeah.
how did we even get on the subject of spelling homunculus? Then why did my brain reassociate it with this film? To the point where when I went to go find our chat, I was like, I don't know, I'm watching something about like homunculus Vietnam. And scrolling around, then was like, none of these words are even remotely close.
So, Rachel, I come to you today with a question.
Yeah.
How close were you in your blind assessment of the Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension?
Hey, I got 2 things right. They're extremely vague. 1, there's lots of guns and like trap-like things that happen. 2, he is slightly haunted by his ex-wife who maybe died. We don't know. Left him
Dude, I know,
unsure.
right?
That's
That's in my
fucking
notes
question.
too.
The whole premise of this girl is fucking chaotic and strange to me. And I can't wait to talk about it.
Well, I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's get into the movie.
Wait, I do want to say something before we get there. So normally we watch a film and we're like, is this going to be a piece of shit? Because I watched this as a fucking 8-year-old and then am now rewatching it as an adult going, oh my God, why did I like this? I actually thought it was pretty good. I was super it's super fucking confusing and non-contextual in a lot of spots, but kind of fun.
The only word for this movie is rad.
Yeah.
R-A-D, rad. There's no other words to describe it. I kept watching the movie.
Good.
And I gotta say, the second half of my notes, I watched this movie twice yesterday. The second half of my notes are kind of sparse because every time I got to the second half, I just kept going like, fuck yeah. And I wasn't able to write anything down.
Yeah. Well, there's also, oh my God, even in just the last like 15 minutes of the film, so much shit going on. It's kind of crazy how much they were just like, let's just shove it all in. Let's get it all in there. Last 15 minutes, go for it.
Yeah, so a little bit is that the Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension, often shortened to Buckaroo Banzai, is a 1984 American adventure science fiction comedy film produced and directed by W.D. Richter and written by Earl Mac Rauch. Rauch?
Fun fact.
Rauch.
Rooch. Cooch. It's like Cooch, but Rooch.
Do you want to know what the budget and box office of this movie was?
Yeah, actually I do. I feel like
the budget of
can
this
I
movie.
Guess the ratio?
Yeah.
Not like number wise, but I'm gonna go with low budget, high box office, and I feel like it's gonna end up being switched because this is like a random ass film. But I hope it was low budget, high box office.
What's the ratio do you think it is? Like 2-1? What?
Oh, I don't know about numbers, Gamage. I barely even know what a 3 is. I'm not gonna be able to give you a literal ratio.
So this is 1984.
Yes.
With a budget of $17 million. Box office, $6.3 million.
That's fucking crazy. You can see the 17 million in the movie.
They brought it. Like there are many times. There are many times where I'm all like, Ewok movies don't come out for like another 10 years, and they're like nowhere near as fucking good at this. Trying to do the same things.
Fun fact. Because at the very beginning, there's a very, like, Back to the Future-esque situation going on. Came out a year before Back to the Future, and the person who plays the Doctor in Back to the Future is in this movie.
Christopher Lloyd, he has a name.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I did want to start off with that this cast is stacked.
Yeah, what the fuck? Did, like, a bunch of people get even the fucking... There's, like, an employee who's in 2 scenes for like 30 seconds total, has 1 line, maybe 2, and is super famous.
Yeah, I checked a couple of them, and I'm like, a couple of these guys had big movies before. So I think Peter Weller did. Peter Weller was Buckaroo Banzai. I think he did RoboCop before this. I'm not quite sure, but
yeah,
a lot of them will go on to do their big roles that they're remembered for, like immediately after, like Christopher Lloyd for one. Clancy Brown played Rawhide. He was in The Highlander, and also my favorite actor probably in the world,
Fucking
Clancy
love
Brown.
Clancy Brown.
we have John Lithgow as Dr. Emilio Lizardo / Lord John Worfen. Ellen Barkin as Penny Pretty / Peggy Banzai. I don't know what else she's done, but Jeff Goldblum, again, I don't know what we're doing.
The fuck? I laughed so hard because he gets introduced and he's in like a fucking hazmat suit. And I just immediately started cracking up when I heard his voice because I was like, why are we accidentally on like a Jeff Goldblum marathon? Because I also just watched Jurassic Park. So I was like, this is a lot of Jeff Goldblum.
Also, he's a doctor. He's a doctor, scientist, singer in this too.
Yeah,
but he's better at it. I don't know.
I have a theory. Do you think Jeff Goldblum really wanted to be a scientist as a kid, but he was like, I'm too dumb to make it, but I am good enough to pretend?
Yeah. Also, Lewis Smith, the guy that plays Perfect Tommy, I've never seen anything else he's been in, but I was like in love with his character.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm like, I haven't seen any of this before. Brittany, I was trying to like picture who he is, and Brittany put it best, where he's like, he looks like a white John Leguizamo.
Is that? Hold on, I have to Google this because I was sitting there like, why does he look famous?
John Leguizamo.
Hold on, I'm Googling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. This isn't who I was thinking, but I do get what you're saying.
Also, Jonathan Banks. I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, Jonathan Banks was like the hospital guard for Lizardo, and like I didn't recognize him, but when they showed his face and his expression and him speaking, I'm like, that's fucking Jonathan Banks. There's nobody else that could be.
Yeah. No, I did the same thing where I was like,
nice
sir,
try, liberals.
I know you. Trying to hide Jonathan Banks from us.
So, getting into the movie, I don't have much notes because again, like I feel like the first half of this movie I have a lot of notes because I'm going into details and like lore and like they do this, which is this, which is this, which is this. So fair warning, little bit of exposition for me. But the second half of the movie, I'm like, then they did this and that, and so
that's fine. We'll figure it out. I feel like we're gonna want to talk about it, so it'll be all right.
Sure. So movie starts. There's some title crawl sequence. That gives some quick exposition. Normally, this kind of thing explains and clarifies.
No.
Whereas this just begins with confusion because holy shit.
Like
Buckaroo Banzai was born to an American mother and Japanese father, brilliant neurosurgeon, martial artist, particle physicist, frontman of the Hong Kong Cavaliers rock band. But the crawl also ends with like an ominous warning of like, oh yeah, also, there's aliens in our atmosphere just watching us.
But it also says, so it doesn't really explain what the Hong Kong Cavaliers is exactly, because it's just sort of like this context of bullshit. And then it's like aliens are watching us and the Banzai team. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Are these two groups the same group? Are we picking a name and we're just undecided yet? You figure it out later, but it was confusing
There are
initially.
There are several different groups that they don't clarify of.
No.
It's worth noting that there's no this is not based on a book or a comic book or anything else. There was stuff that kind of came out with the movie and after the movie, but like this movie just kind of was birthed out of a mind vagina of somebody on ketamine.
That actually makes this movie so much more rad. To use
right?
my favorite word to refer to it, because I was like, this has to be this is a comic book series, this is a book, this is a something. It's incredible that it's not. What the fuck?
I mean, it is now. Like after the movie came out, there's all the stuff, but
no source material. Excuse me, somebody just birthed this out of their fucking mind palace. Which drugs were you on? Because it's not were you, it is which ones were you on.
Yeah. So, God, I love the whole first half of this movie is some of my favorite stuff ever. The movie starts with having Buckaroo Banzai having, double booked a brain surgery and experimental super jet car test. It's normal stuff. And then, real quick, one thing I wanted to get out of the way. Buckaroo Banzai is a born Mary Sue. I see a lot of claims of modern characters being Mary Sue's where it's just like a woman who's really smart or really strong, sometimes both. But they clearly don't understand what a Mary Sue is. If you have trouble, watch Buckaroo Banzai. Buckaroo Banzai, that's a Mary Sue.
Yeah, nothing on this planet or outside of this planet or on a different dimension can foil this man.
He's an 80s era OC. He's a half Japanese samurai cowboy doctor superhero jet car driver.
Yeah, watching this movie is like when you watch a little kid coming up with a story and they're sitting there like playing with their dolls. I'm like, somebody just watched their kid fuck around and then added some adult themes to what was going on. And that's Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah. So the super jet car test, which is specifically the test for the oscillation overthruster, a device designed to pass through solid objects designed by Buckaroo's mentor, Professor Tohichi Hikita. I told you, exposition. And during the test, Buckaroo veers off course because he's Buckaroo Banzai and does literally whatever he wants. He opens a portal through a mountain and it sends him into the 8th dimension. He hits some alien people on the other side.
Can we talk about the like weird naked CGI people and that they later turned into like very fish-looking aliens? But initially, just weird, fleshy CGI humanoids.
It does feel like some concept versus actual what they put into practice.
They just didn't spend any of the $17 million on CGI. They're like, we're going to blow it out elsewhere. Don't worry about it. They'll only see them for 8 seconds.
He brings back some small spherical organism attached to the car.
Yeah, was
kind
that
of
like
unimportant.
A brain?
I don't know.
It kind of looks like one, but nothing's ever talked about. But they are like really adamant about getting it back.
Yeah. Well,
like that's Jeff.
I think so. So now we go to John Lithgow's character, former Soviet Union scientist Dr. Emilio Lizardo, who is now going by John Worfen after attempting to test Hikita's oscillation overthruster many years ago. Not having collected enough data, he attempted to breach the 8th dimension by method of catapulting himself into a wall from a go-kart. I know that maybe you kind of like were yawning on your way to work and you're like, I think I missed something. You didn't.
No, that's exactly what you think it is.
It resulted in him being among some like interdimensional alien beings who caused him to be inhabited by their leader, John Worfen of the Red Lectroids.
Yeah, can
arguably
we talk
the dumbest
about...
name for an alien.
Yeah, that whole thing. I don't understand what happened because, like, I mean, nobody does. It's the 8th dimension. But they just look like they were having a slap fight with his head. And then Nikita's like, oh my god, no! And then they
pull him
out
like
and
some
he's
Star
fucking
Trek
crazy.
fucking like sequences of like they're just kind of like pawing around like they're just like touching his head a lot.
Yeah,
that's
it's just gently slapping. I also really like that they kept the same person to play Hikita, but they're like, we need him to age. So they spray painted his hair, his mustache, and his eyebrows gray. And in some scenes, the lighting makes it look okay.
I noticed.
And in others, it looks fucking terrible.
Well, if you look really closely, too, in a lot of scenes, like you could see that his skin looks like it's stretching. Like they put some kind of like, I don't know, like polymer sheen or something on his face so that it looks it's trying to look like wrinkles, but it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they do kind of like not a similar thing with John Lithgow, but when they introduce him, he has an insane amount of makeup on his face. And it really does add to the layer of like making him look fucking insane. But
I really
it's not
love his
because...
gangly teeth too.
Yeah, those were cool. Those were well done. Nice
and also he has like an addiction to electricity too, because he's like remembering all this by like electrocuting himself. I don't know. Again, sorry if I'm unloading information on you like an apocalyptic hobo, but this is the movie. It's the movie. It's not a fever dream.
It feels like one. He
also in the scene, this is the scene where you see Jonathan Banks as the hospital guard.
Yes. Yeah, after Jonathan Lithgow attaches 2 steel wool balls to his tongue and electrocutes the shit out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Which it begs the question, like, Is this Lizardo trying to like come back to reality? Or is this the weird electricity lizard people being like, I'm getting juiced up, let's go?
I think it's getting juiced up because the electroids have some connection to electricity. It's in their name, first of all,
Yeah.
but also they
It is
also
lazily in their name.
have it as their power. I don't know. But so we go back to Buckaroo Banzai. We learned that he was actually triple booked today because he and his band, the Hong Kong Cavaliers, actually had a gig. And he's the most important because he's the band's guitar player, trumpet brapper, lead singer, Ivory Tickler, and you can't have a gig without him.
Yeah.
And he stops the show, like they're playing music, and then he stops because he senses a crying lady in the audience.
His
And
spidey sense is tingling.
We have to put the spotlight on her. Hey, you, talk.
Hey.
What's your bullshit?
Woman crying in public and therefore probably having a terrible fucking time. Tell me your secrets.
I know, like, let's put a spotlight. Get her a mic. Like,
Yeah. Horrible.
is somebody here not having a good time? I know they're not.
I can feel it.
This is actually probably my favorite scene in the movie too.
It's a wild
because
fucking scene.
after she explains her tragic backstory, which is like I watched it twice. I don't really remember. It's like she lost her job or some bullshit.
It's like normal. Look, okay, losing your job and like having to move and shit, hard. I get it. So she goes through those things and then like just spent all of her money. So she's like, my last pennies were for this bottle.
Even though my name is Penny, get it? Haha.
Ha. Take a penny, leave a penny. You know?
So
Anybody want to take me
Buckaroo's
home?
like, so Buckaroo says, like, no matter where you go, there you are. Like, and that's a. I can't remember who wrote this quote, but I found out that a lot of people online seem to think that quote originated from this movie, which is bananas.
No.
But he decides to play her a sad piano song.
Which
and
is
instead of
also a
Yeah.
fucking crazy thing to do in response to somebody crying. Be like, well, I'm going to play you a song about being sad.
Well, I mean, if you go out to a club and you see a band and like one of them's just like, I'm gonna play you a song just for you, that could be. I've never been in that situation. That could be flattering or something. But
Suppose.
he's playing her a piano song, and like instead of feeling better, she slowly puts a gun up to her head.
Was so fucking crazy. I love the court. Okay, hold on. Knowing now that they spent $17 million on this movie, they couldn't bother to reshoot this scene with any more like choreography and effort. Because, as Gamage said, she slowly slides a small pistol. Also, the amount of guns that people have in this film. Are we in fucking Texas? What is happening?
To be fair, because I did note that like she's bumped into and she ends up shooting into the ceiling.
Yes,
and then
which was a crazy arm movement.
Yeah, and then like everybody like, but I will say that it's just in the band.
Yes.
Buckaroo Banzai's direct band / teammates of his
/ apparently
guerrilla
bodyguards.
operation thingy. I don't know, but they all pull out guns and Uzis and shit. Like they're all loaded and ready to go.
And Buckaroo does not have a gun.
I don't know what
in
Buckaroo
time.
Banzai's team is. They're like G.I. Joe scientists. Who knows?
Plus rock stars. Don't forget that part. It's important.
So she's taken away. And then we go back to John Wharfen, who just decides he's going to leave. The hospital guy's like, okay. So John Wharfen just kills him and then calls his underling on the phone named John Big Booty.
Yeah.
Which is
This is
Christopher Lloyd's character. And I got to say, I think it's Christopher Lloyd's smallest role.
Yeah. He's barely in it.
Yeah,
He's just
he's
sort of
in there
around.
just to like make remarks and flip people off and punch somebody once or twice.
Yeah.
Also,
Which is,
my
like, the
favorite
best
Christopher
things.
Lloyd role.
This is also the point where I was like, what fucking rating does this film have? And it's PG after this woman just tried to off
PG.
herself. And
That's beautiful.
Gets weirder. And
Yeah,
definitely
so,
less PG.
It's the next morning, presumably, and they're like looking in the paper, and they notice that the suicidal girl is named Penny Pretty, who mysteriously looks like Buckaroo Banzai's ex-wife, Peggy Banzai, and she died, maybe. I wrote down here, perhaps. I watched it twice yesterday, and I still don't know.
No, I have no fucking clue what happened to this lady at all.
Yeah, but one thing is funny. I didn't notice it until my second rewatch, but in the bar scene, when he's like...
Peggy.
He does, yeah. He's like, I'm going to play you a song, Peggy. And she's like,
it's Penny. That's what makes her want to shoot herself in the face.
Yeah.
She's like, he doesn't even know my name.
Yeah, so they're taking the band's tour bus to get her out of jail while Buckaroo does like a samurai prayer ritual thing in the background. I don't know.
Also,
they just show him bowing with a sword.
The tour bus is the most crazy fucking thing. It's not very long, but it's like Doctor Who, where it's bigger on the inside. Because there's this whole section that's like very Japanese architecture. Yeah. And then it has a sliding door that goes to like a fucking like NASA command center where they're like
absolutely.
Looking at some shit in space, and he's like, could be this, maybe talk to the Russian military, da-da-da-da. You're like, what the fuck? Where's the driver? Where do you have space? Where's the toilet? Like, there's no room for these things in here.
Yeah. Also, Clancy Brown is in the scene. I love him. That's all I want to say.
Yeah. No, I loved every word out of Clancy Brown's mouth, and I was like, look at you as a young man, kicking ass.
Yeah, he was definitely playing like a small role where he's just like, I'm just gonna say things in like a weird kind of Texan accent every now and then. Well, goodbye.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna go make Mr. Krabs.
I can't wait to get to later in Clancy Brown's storyline.
I can't wait to get to later too, because the episode will be over and I don't know.
It'd be sick somewhere else.
Take some Xanax and sit in the bathtub. I haven't planned
Drop a
entirely.
toaster in there.
So Jeff Goldblum's character, New Jersey is his given name. It's actually Sydney, but he says it's New Jersey. Is waiting for the tour bus outside of the jailhouse, and he's dressed as a cowboy, a very ostentatious cowboy.
Yeah, he has cow pattern bags.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why.
What?
Like, was this just like, I'm going to inhabit a trope, and that's what I'm going to do?
He's hoping that he fits into the band.
Like a Las Vegas cowboy, yes.
He wears that outfit twice. It's initially, then it's gone, and then it's for the end credits.
So Buckaroo goes and talks to Penny, and eventually bails her out of jail because he realizes that she's Peggy's long-lost twin. Like, Penny talks about being adopted, and genius Buckaroo, Mary Sue, is like, of course, you're Peggy's twin. I knew it.
Can we also talk about, like, she is, I mean, in so many scenes, peak damsel in distress vibes.
You say damsel, like, she's damaged. She's damaged.
Damaged damsel. She's just like stroking walls and shit, and then stroking his bow tie. And then in later scenes, she's just like screaming and falling over. And you're like, what the fuck is happening?
She serves no purpose other than being the damsel in distress. That is her entire character.
Have you ever known somebody that like gets too fucked up at parties and just causes problems? Because that's this bitch.
Yeah, Rachel. Rachel. I've met a couple.
She's basically a crackhead.
Yeah. So Buckaroo bails her out of jail and then immediately takes her to the press conference that they're having for the oscillation overthruster. Yeah, puts her on a panel. And then he talks about how his parents died trying to find aliens inside solid objects. I know. It gets interrupted with a phone call from the President of the United States, which confuses Buckaroo because he's fucking like, wait, this isn't the number the President of the United States normally calls me from. It feels like a Neil Breen movie, but it's good? I don't know how to articulate it anymore.
Yeah, everything we say sounds bad out loud, but I promise when you actually watch it, it is quite entertaining.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
it's like subliminal messaging, like in the backtrack. I don't know.
Do you think it's like when two negatives make a positive, only there's like 18 negatives, and it just like magically made like a good movie, and you're like, all right, we're here.
I mean,
now.
maybe this movie has all kinds of particle physics shit in it. So
did you catch the thruster innuendo in this scene?
Yeah, I think he says something about she says something about the thruster, and then like saying that she wants his thruster. I don't quite remember, but
It
I
was
assumed he'd pick it
just
up.
so poorly crafted, but her response is like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump his bones now," and it's just her whole existence is wild.
She is in two modes at all times.
Like
It is
she-
like a
Oh,
2, I'm
oh.
going to bathe the toaster, or like an 11, like I'm hot and bothered.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, not a crackhead. It's like she took a lot of ecstasy. Like a lot of ecstasy.
Yeah, she knows who Molly is, if you know what I'm saying. So, the president of the United States phone call was actually the black Lectricons. I wrote Lectricons. They're Electroids. Lectricons are cooler though. But they called
a new type of transformer, the black Lectricons.
they've called Buckaroo Banzai so that they could electrocute him with an ionized formula that would allow him to see the Lectroids. He falls on the ground and he's just like, "Give me a pen," and then he like writes down some bullshit on his hand, and then he's just like, "Conference room." So they go to the conference room, and he could see the red Lectroids now. And he says some dumb shit here. I didn't write it down, but he like points them out, and he's just like there be evil or some wild
stupid
thing
ass
to
sentence.
say.
Yeah. Well, he did just get
from the
electrocuted.
8th dimension.
You can't judge him.
True. Yeah. So he can see Lectroids now. See, there's red Lectroids and black Lectroids. They're at war with each other, but the red ones are the ones on Earth causing amok, and the black ones are hands off and not actively trying to fuck shit up. So the red ones are the bad guys, because the black ones are kind of like neutral. We don't care. If you kill yourselves, you kill yourselves, but like, you know, we're not really here to do anything. So Buckaroo spots the red Lectroids, and there's a shootout that leads to a motorcycle van chase, because they mention that there's a Harley Davidson convention right after their convention. So they're having like a super science, like we broke physics, but then also we got to be out in 10 minutes because of the 2:00 Harley Davidson
Yeah, they're
festival.
pulling in all the motorcycles, which they had like a crazy close-up shot of a Harley ad, and I'm like, was this sponsored? What a weird sponsor. Were they just like, yeah, we'll put a fuck ton of your bikes in there. All right, cool. We'll pay $17 million for your film.
Fucking, this is Buckaroo Banzai. We got Christopher Lloyd and John Lithgow in this bitch.
It's very like Doctor Who meets James Bond, and it sounds stupid, but again, weirdly works.
I know, right? Like, it's, again, I'm reading this on the paper, and I'm like, this sounds dumb.
Dumb as fuck.
And everything we're saying sounds stupid, but you watch the movie, and you're like entranced. It's like...
Like they hypnotize you somewhere at the beginning so that you stick through the whole thing, and you're like, I like it. Okay.
It's like seeing boobs for the first time. It
doesn't matter what kind of boobs they are. You're just invested.
Yeah, including your Uncle Leroy's boobs. Like they're a little hairy. They're Italian. They've got
Italian. Little
moisture,
pepperonis.
but you're in it. So,
do you
the
notice
red
his
Lectroids
sweet skankle on the motorcycle? He does like, the van goes flying through a corner, and he does this like really long loop where he loosens his bow tie and like puts his leg really far out for no reason, and then like keeps on with the chase. It's like, I'm gonna catch you too soon.
Yeah, he kind of just like stops and then just kind of like, I don't know, I'm just kind of just spinning around,
rolling around.
I'm gonna go this way, and I'm like, you guys could have just cut this out, and it probably would have been fine.
Reason.
Were you reaching for a certain length time? Because there is no need. But yeah, the red Lectroids pick up a signal that some black Lectroids are flying down to Earth, and this part I love. Some hunters see it and they shoot it. They come across the ship, which is a giant testicle.
Yeah.
A black Lectroid disguised as a black man. For some reason, the black Lectroids always come across as black men.
Do you think the red Lectroids was like a really last minute shift when they were like, ooh? Perhaps no.
No. I noticed that, well, I think that there's some undertones here, because I think that the red Lectroid who takes over Dr. Emilio Lizardo, he's very Russian, right? He's like Soviet
I guess,
Union.
yeah. They went like red communist, huh?
it's
he does give
that
a
is
very
absolutely
like
what's
Soviet
happening.
fascist speech that starts with, I quoted it. We'll get
It's
there.
literally 1984.
Yeah, no,
like not the
we'll
book,
get there
but
because I have the direct quote went further down in my notes.
So the Black Lectroid comes out of the ship and is very slightly startled, so he falls off and hits his head and dies.
Yeah, what the fuck
And
was that?
the hunters notice that he has the latest issue of the Buckaroo Banzai comic book, which implies that these two hunters keep up to date on the publication of this series.
In addition
They're
to
like, that's the newest one. That's the newest.
In
I
addition
don't have this
to
one yet.
these aliens keep up on the latest edition of this series.
Yeah, how did they get it?
I also really love the first one dies, and then the second guy hops out of the weird testicle seed egg thing and just brings like a donut box with him and escapes in a sparkly suit.
I thought it was like kind of an old fashioned dress box like you get from clothing stores way back in the way time.
Oh, it looked like a pink donut box to me.
You know, where you go to like a clothing store and you're like,
No,
I'll
I know
have this
exactly what
dress.
you're
And then they
talking
put it
about.
in a box and tie it with string and you're like,
Make it look
I'm going
fanciful.
to hot dog on a stick now or some shit. I would crush hot dog on a stick. We used to have one. Fuck.
Yeah, my sister used to work at one. Shit was good. Did you notice that the aliens sort of look like Zoidberg without the mouth tentacles?
They look to me like the alien from Enemy Mine. Have you seen Enemy Mine?
No.
That might be next, girl.
Okay. Done.
To be fair, Enemy Mine is like a kind of like not, I want to say it's 70s. It might be 80s, but it's a movie about a guy and an alien, and they're shooting at each other because their species are at war. They crash land on a barren, abandoned moon, and then they basically like have to team up to survive. And it actually becomes like a really touching movie. It's weird, and it's surprisingly very good. But that's not this movie. But the alien from Enemy Mine, fact checker, pull up the poster for Enemy Mine, or maybe just a scene with the alien. I could be wrong. I'm willing just to see it. Yeah, that's the alien from Enemy Mine. Fact checker posted.
Yeah,
that's the alien from Enemy Mine, and I gotta say that's way better than I remember it being.
That one's more beaky, but yeah,
it's very. I mean, like I forgot how good the makeup and effects in this movie were.
I'm impressed.
I might watch it regardless of doing an episode on it. Who knows?
That sounds good.
So the red Lectroids show up to break the testicle ship down.
Yeah, they just are like banging on the side of it while one of them is smoking what is clearly like a bong.
I forgot to, yeah. Fact checker posted a side by side. It's like the Power Rangers version of the first one.
Yeah, that's a really accurate. I also love that they're wearing feather boas.
Yeah, they've got some fancy shit happening.
Yeah, we'll get there, but like, yeah, we'll get there. They're wearing. Some of them are so 70s festive. It's crazy.
I forgot to write down that Buckaroo gets into the van and finds Dr. Hikita, who's in a box, and he talks about how like he has like this formula to see the aliens, and he like licks his hand and like baps this doctor on the forehead so that he has the formula too,
while electrifying him slightly.
Yeah, but it's like he needs the actual written formula to make it work. I don't understand, but he has it now.
Well, and he tells him to synthesize it, and I'm like, are you trying to make potions? Like, what is happening?
I think that is how they do it. It's like electrochemical, because like they make them later where it's like a life vest where like they've got like a snorkel that they breathe it in, and then you're able to see them.
Oh yeah, because fucking what's his face, Jeff Goldblum at one point is like huffing it and then turning around and being like, oh. They don't really go into that again, but yeah,
they don't. Like this is definitely like I watched it back to back, so I kind of have more lore on this movie.
Yeah.
But the first time you watch it, you're like, I am being hit by so many things so fast. I don't know what day it is. I don't know. I forgot which gender I was. I'm in a wild state of affairs right now. So the red Electroids show up to break the Testicle ship down, and the remaining black Electroided side just self-destructs it.
Yeah, he
And
just
then by
turns
the-
into a suicide bomber, but this is the part where he calls these guys who are at like a very tall table with very tall stools.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
this is maybe the first or second time we're seeing them. But we see them a couple more times. Do you think they're like playing chess or at like a cocktail bar? Because these are the
I kept
ones
wondering that
have
myself.
feather boas and like crazy head accoutrements. And it looks like they're at a fucking cocktail bar, and perhaps this is just like an annoying business affair that they have to deal with on their night out.
Well, I feel like it kind of is, because once you get up, the chairs, the stools are mammoth like in length, so they have to
tall.
climb up there, and that's where you're at.
You're stuck.
That's your night. You're like, I'm camped.
Yeah. Not getting down for nothing.
So by this moment, it's apparent that every Electroid in this movie, black or red, is named John.
Which is so good.
It's kind of my favorite thing, and also fits into the narrative that like a kid came up with it.
Yeah.
That's John Big Booty. That's John Small Berries. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It really fits.
so
This is... I was going to say, this is also the point where his team, the Banzai team or the Hong Kong Cavaliers or whichever the fuck you want
That's
to
the
call
band.
the team. Yeah, but it's the same people, Gamage. It's the same.
It's different because like there's different factions within it. Because I was gonna say that they call the Blue Blaze Irregulars, which is the Buckaroo Banzai fan club.
I'm glad you know what it was. Because I was like, I know
I'm here
it's...
for you.
I wanted to say Blue Jacket Bonsais or something, and I was like, I know this is wrong, but it's something very similar. And I was thinking Blue Blazer, which is where I got Blue Jacket.
This scene is so quick that like I
so
barely
fucking
clocked
weird.
it the second time, because they call him and like the boy answers the phone and he's like, "We got you," and then he goes outside and is just like, "Pa, Buckaroo needs help," and they just showed him for like less than a second, and
Then they're in the helicopter.
he's like, well, in this scene, there it's like a gas station, but he has like couches on a shelf.
yeah, he
with
has
like a sign that
like
he's a
bunk
couch
bed
salesman.
couches, and then he's got bitches.
I don't know what's happening here, but it's so quick that you're like, wait, aliens and oscillation overthrusters, but this is the part where you don't try to explain anything.
Yeah, he has bunk bed funky suede couches outside of a gas station, and there's just like some girls around. And his kid comes out and is like, "Papa."
Yeah, it's set up in a way where you'd come to get gas and you go like, huh, you know what? I do need a yellow fucking ugly couch. I'll just pick this up and take it home with me.
Yeah, that's totally how I make my couch buying decisions.
Yeah, so the Blue Blaze Irregulars come to rescue Buckaroo because like the red Electroids start chasing him, and they save him with a helicopter chopper.
Thing.
Good.
It has propellers.
Yeah, it does the helicopter thing. So Buckaroo returns to... I skipped a little bit, and Rachel's going to get on me, and I don't care. Buckaroo returns to find John Parker has met with the rest of the team, and everyone participates in an eyes wide shut party to view the message the black Electroids have left Buckaroo that explain the full situation.
So they wear bubble wrap and plastic over their eyes so that they can see this message. Also,
both times I watched this, I was like getting up close. I'm like, what is that bubble wrap? I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, no, it's 100% just fucking bubble wrap with little plastic eyepieces inside of it. Also, they just like talk about how War of the Worlds is real and then gloss
Yes.
kind of over it for the rest of the film. And they're just like, oh, yeah, it was actually real. And then they hypnotized Orson Welles into being like, oh, it's a ruse. And that's where the Johns
I actually
came
had that
from.
written down, and I forgot. I guess I erased it in my second watch through, which sucks because that is an important part that I'm like, that was a wild fucking thing. How like War of the Worlds actually happened. And the Electroids are like, wait, no, it didn't. And Orson Welles is like, oh.
Okay.
Sure. Orson Welles. And my favorite part is that they say Orson Welles, and they're like, the guy from the old wine commercials. Have you seen his old wine commercials?
No. I
Oh
meant
my
to look
God.
that up after watching this, and I had lost my note in the midst of my notes. Fact checker, could
I'm
you
gonna
post one?
I'm gonna pull it up real quick. And
Did you also clock that like halfway through the film they go from calling him Big Booty to him correcting people and being like, it's bootay?
yeah,
Just like a weird time to introduce that joke.
are you playing it?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Why do you always do this? There we go.
102, take one. With overlap, action please.
Why does he look like he's gonna murder everyone in this fucking
Action
commercial?
Orson, please.
Just do anything?
No, it's sorry, cut. You're rolling.
He
102, take
doesn't
two.
do anything?
Ah, the French champagne
Ah!
has always
the
been
French
celebrated for
champagne.
its excellence.
Is he drunk?
There's a California champagne
Rachel, yes, he
by
is.
Paul Masson, inspired by that same
Inspired
French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So
Cut.
Paul Masson.
I love just in the
One,
middle
two,
of him
take three.
talking cut.
Action please.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by
No,
Paul
the
Masson,
It's like he was like trying to be like,
inspired by that same French
oh,
excellence.
but was too drunk
It's
to do
fermented
it. So
in
it's
the
just.
bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage.
It's-
So the story
It's
behind this, if I
vintage French
recall, is
champagne.
that it's one of those things where
Oh
it's
my
like, you know,
God.
you try the product and you're like, oh yes, I'm eating this apple, yum, delicious apple, buy apples, and he just kept drinking the champagne and
They're
like,
like, we brought 4 cases for filming. Why do we only have 1?
it's so good. If you're listening to this, go watch it because it's good just to see his limp finger kind of tap the bottle.
Yeah.
There's wine right here.
It's, yeah, it is genuinely so worth your time. Original takes for Orson Welles wine commercial, because holy fuck was that funny.
Yeah. So Penny at this point is freaking out because she realizes that she has a twin, and then Buckaroo pulls a Forrest Gump regarding that chapter with like "That's all I have to say about that," and we never ever find out.
Also, the completely cavalier nature with which he regards her like total panic about this situation is so funny. Because she's like losing her mind. She's like, I saw that picture. Why do you have a picture of somebody that looks like me with you?
I stuck into your room and I know it wasn't supposed to, but I did, and I saw the picture.
Full crisis. And he just smirks and is like, well, I married your twin, and that's all. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you were going to kill yourself and you were in jail like a day ago. And now this man has just really fucking weird motivations for having you around. I would want to leave.
Also, she looks like a boy, and she never not looks like a twink boy. I don't know. Nothing against short hair, but like the specific short hair and like shape of face she went for is like, you look like a little boy. I don't know what's happening here.
It kind of has to do with some of her acting too, of like she just acts like a child, which creates this sort of like ambiguous, strange situation where like the only time she's ever felt like an adult was when she suddenly understood what was going on while surprised being on the panel 35 fucking minutes ago. And so many things have happened since then that it's like, I don't remember you being real. You're just here.
I actually wrote down here in my notes a note to me, and it says, now remember that the rest of my notes are kind of sparse because I expect Rachel to interject with, can we talk about normal detail that I think is weird? Or you missed the part where that unimportant happens. So really, I'm just factoring her interruptions in. I'm a planner. Good job, you.
Well done. Because
Thank
you're
you.
right. Because I literally said, can we talk about?
No, I mean that's a quirk. Sure. So the red Lectroids attack to steal the oscillation overthruster and kill Rawhide. And then also kidnap
fucking
Penny. Who
how?
cares? But Rawhide, they never explain it, but like they like
He
kind of
just-
throw these like little squid starfish things on people, and that poisons them and kills them.
Well,
It like.
It
I
paralyzed
think it has something to do with like
him.
draining the electricity because he mentions when he's dying that he can't feel his legs. He's like paralyzed now and he's slowly dying. I think it has something to do with draining all the electricity from your body. Because fun fact, you're an electrocuted steak. That's what we're working with.
You're like, that's why we move. Electrocuted
That's how we
steaks.
are.
Yeah, it was really fucking confusing because of all the things you just mentioned. But I thought when they pulled the weird little creature off of his spinal cord, like he was going to be all right, and he just sort of like gently drifts off into the abyss. And I was like, sir, last I checked, you were just paralyzed.
Yeah.
Why are we dead now? Like, you're not bleeding. There's nothing happening. The thing's dead. I don't understand.
I think my theory's pretty close because, like, I don't know. It kind of makes sense with turning paralyzed and then still dying. Fuck you, Rachel. So the red electroids call Buckaroo to gloat that they have Penny and that Buckaroo should come to their base at Yoyodyne headquarters to give up the oscillation overthrusters so that they can use it to free their people and then go home. Then they put Penny on the phone and Buckaroo immediately says, Penny, get off the phone.
Yeah, which was fantastic. They're also pouring like honey on her arms and covering her in ants in the background. Which they're like fire ants. But also I don't think fire ants bite you if you're like not moving or stepping on their shit.
Speaking of, I'm glad you brought that up because the red electroids are torturing Penny, but she's like kind of into it. And she's half because she's suicidal and half because she's got some kinds of issues, I think. And I think it goes back into how she's always at a 2 or 11 on the emotional scale of
so
like
being tortured for a guy she just met
and
is perfect for her 2 or 11. It's like this situation works for both of these moods. Keep going. Cover me in ants.
So Buckaroo and team at one point they call it Buckaroo Industries, or not Buckaroo Industries, it's Buckaroo Institute. So he's got like a school
for misfit children.
So they coordinate an attack with Buckaroo entering the Yoyodyne headquarters alone while the others attack after he's like captured. But they just like hook him up to some wires and they're like, solve these puzzles, haha. But like once the attack starts, he just like gets up and walks out. He's like not secured or anything.
Did you also clock? You're talking about when Buckaroo's strapped to that machine because you jumped forward in time really far.
I absolutely did because
Did you clock that they electrocuted his junk? It's like this really short part where he's like, get him. And then they flip the switch and it just zooms in on his crotch being electrocuted. And it's just such a weird thing to include. This like slapstick in this misses every single time. And it's so strange. Because again, still a good movie. Don't understand why. Thoroughly confusing. It should be studied.
And I love how casually calm and cool Perfect Tommy is. I think he's my favorite character. I kind of wish I had more of him and his actor too.
Same.
It's this very weird, I don't know, he's got like this presence on stage and I'm like, I want to see you in more things, but I think you're dead now, maybe. I actually don't know.
He did do like quite a few movies in his youth, but not past that. So you can still watch more movies with him. He's
only 68. Come on, man.
Bring it back.
Oh, duh. He's best known as Bobby Fontana in Heavenly Kid.
Yeah.
Duh. Rachel. Fucking duh.
So other things that you missed as Gamage skips time is the president in a really weird circular thing. The general being like, I don't know about you, but I can't hold my fudge in because I'm so scared. And then a woman being like, get over yourself. And the president being like, at least somebody has balls around here. And then I think that same general tries to sneak in with them. And then a child holds him at gunpoint. That's what's happening in the background of everything else.
It's not the general. It's the Secretary of Defense.
Oh, okay. Because the general doesn't have the balls.
I completely voided him from my notes. And I wrote about the scene with the president the first time because I'm like, he had back surgery or something. I don't know. They don't explain it.
No, they just say his
it's kind of
back
pointless
hurts. It's
and I don't
crazy.
care.
But
he's in a hospital, and there's even like a get well soon president and like a sign thing.
It's just a weird, useless side plot. Because then the secretary
exactly why
guy,
I skipped it, Rachel.
Well, but the secretary guy is worth talking about because he just like stomps his way through a very clearly alien base to go yell at an alien and be like, "Where's my missile?" And the alien chokes him and is like, "Fuck you." And he's like, "No, fuck you. I'm finding my missile." It's just the most fucking insane shit. Also, at the beginning of introducing the fucked up alien base, this is the part that I wanted to quote. John Lithgow, who looks like a Soviet fascist, starts making like a very Hitlery World War II speech to the other Lectroids. And he starts it with blacks are on this planet.
Yeah, I wrote that. I can't believe I erased that because I'm like, both times I was watching, I was like, whoa,
what?
stop, I gotta.
Hold on, go back. Is that what you said? Yes, it is. The fuck?
So Buckaroo makes his way to Penny, but she's wounded and unconscious because the red Lectroids were like having a slug that's covered in cilantro slowly make its way to her. Like I
thought it was parsley, but it could have been cilantro.
Dude, it could have been either. But like the slug's like going, like slowly going, and he's like, "Not today!" and karate chops it out of the way.
The best part is she's just so unconscious that there's like no purpose for this slug.
No, yeah, it's like a slow laser beam James Bond situation.
Only
which
she's
is like,
not awake to even be in distress.
The laser slowly, absolutely. But he gives her to New Jersey because he's also a doctor and he's gonna go get her better. But also, at this point, he's like, "Oh, you got a gun?" Both Buckaroo Banzai and New Jersey have guns and shoot people.
Yeah,
aren't they doctors? Isn't there like a hypocritical oath or something?
Well, Banzai, I expect to have a gun based off of the company he keeps with everybody
because
else.
He's also a samurai cowboy rock star.
Jersey,
particle physicist,
like,
scientist.
At one point, he's like, "Jersey, do you have a gun?" And he pulls out a gun and does the whole cowboy like spin thwip thing, and then blows smoke off the top. And I'm like, is this the whole reason they gave you the cowboy outfit? Was to justify your gun knowledge?
I have a theory because at the beginning of the movie, he's like the doctor that Buckaroo is assisting in like the operating room, and Buckaroo is just like, "Hey, I've got room on my team if you're willing," and he's just like, "Oh, yeah." I think that the whole cowboy getup is a persona he's adopting to fit in with Buckaroo's
100%.
crew.
Absolutely.
It is because his cowboy outfit is like brand new, pristine. It's like it looks like it still has the tags on it. Like it's
yeah. No, they all have like an ish, and he was like, I also need to fit in."
If you Google it, people also ask, why is Jeff Goldblum dressed as a cowboy in Buckaroo Banzai?
No one knows. It's provocative.
Again, I think he's just trying to like, "Hey guys, I'm like a cool cowboy. Call me New Jersey." Yeah, like
I think they call him Jersey. I don't think he perpetuates that. I think he is just from New Jersey, and they start calling him Jersey because they're like, "I don't give a shit about you."
The only time because Buckaroo calls him Sydney, and then like a little bit later he says, "My name's Sydney." Well, everybody's calling me New Jersey, but like nobody actually said it before that.
Fuck,
point.
You might be right. It might just be part of his building.
He's just like, "People call me New Jersey," and it's just like, who?
And they're like, "What are you talking about?"
I don't see nobody.
Did you catch the sign that said "Nobody Comes"? But it's spelled C-U-M-Z, and nobody spelled N-O-B-U-D-Y. It's good. I'll send a picture.
Thank you. I do need that. The rest of this is compressed into like 5 minutes. So Buckaroo and John Parker both sneak aboard a pod on the Yo-Yo-Dyne spacecraft. Worfen decides that they're going to launch the imperfect model despite not having the overthrusters. Like, he's like, "We're going to do it anyway." John Big Booty, not Big Booty, Big Booty is like, "It's not going to work, you fucking moron," and flips him off, and I love it. And so Worfen just shoots him, and they take off. So, like, the lasers go to the wall, which is like how the overthruster works, but he doesn't have it. So they just fucking crash through the wall, and they're like, and Worfen's like, "Fuck it, I don't care." So they're like, they're flying into the outer atmosphere, and decides to eject the pod that Buckaroo and Parker are in, but they activate the pod and then fucking just learn how to use it on the fly, literally on the fly.
Notice that within the pod, there is a photo of Lizardo hanging in like a very ornate frame.
It's a very North Korean kind of vibe.
Also, fun fact, the second photo that I posted is John Parker as they bust through the wall. It made me laugh so hard I had to go rewind because I was like, I want to know if for sure I saw what I think I saw.
I didn't even realize that nobody comes near because I did catch that, but it was like quick and I didn't notice that it was secret.
Yeah,
Sekrit.
Secret. Everything about that sign is so good.
Because like they're embodying
feeds into
people.
The tiny child doing this. This is an 8-year-old that like hasn't learned to spell yet.
Yeah, nobody. So they learn how to fly it, and they're like, okay, cool. How's this work? That shoots lasers. This flies.
Also,
got it. Great.
While they're doing that, Lizardo's flying his giant ship with his toes.
Yeah.
Weird choice.
And we are going back and forth. It is Lizardo and John Worfen.
They're the same person. Yeah.
Rachel, stop hitting your mic.
I didn't.
Or the desk or something.
I don't think I touched anything other than I might have moved the blanket.
It's just bumps. Like I heard a bunch of them in the last episode, and that was a thing that I think was more egregious than Cars.
The Cars. Okay.
There's nothing you could do about Cars. We could mitigate it as much as possible, but you having a violent fit at your desk, that's something we got.
Damage, I'm having a violent fit because I need us to address Cars, the movie.
The movie. That's our
we
next
need
episode.
to talk about the lore of Cars the movie. I'm going to introduce you to Cars lore in our next episode.
You don't need to because I'm already well versed in the lore of the Cars verse.
That there's been a Cars 9/11, that there's a Cars Pope.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, but like I think that a lot of it is just shut up and watch the movie. I feel like it all boils down to like you can make thoughts of like, well, clearly people used to exist and they don't anymore, and cars are now controlling the world.
No. That's not the point. It's not that people existed and they don't.
I mean,
anymore.
it's kind of a point.
It's that the implication that there's a Cars 9/11.
Yeah.
And it's were there cars in the plane? Or was the plane the suicidal one? Or did one of the cars hijack the plane? Because there's planes that are...
If you let me finish,
we'll get to it later.
I was getting there. What do you mean we're getting to it later? We're not. We're addressing it now. The thing about Cars is that it's all...
Cars.
Fucking suspense of disbelief for children. Like you could be an adult.
Say that
you could be
about
a 40-year-old adult and sit in your basement and go like, oh, but the cars, they believe in Jesus. There's a Jesus car, you see. Is it a Volvo?
How did they
I don't know.
Crucify the Christ car? Because the Pope car still has a cross on his hat. So crucifixes still existed.
My thing is ultimately like, it's because kids can't think and people think kids are stupid, and that's why those kinds of movies are bad for children.
No.
Any kind of movie that treats a kid like they're an idiot, it's out. Cars is out.
I don't know if Cars treats kids like they're stupid.
There's a Pope car, you said it yourself, dumb bitch.
No, they're just paralleling life, and then adults start asking too many questions because, as you said, you can have a thought.
Anyway, so Buckaroo and Parker destroy Worfen. It's really like they shoot a laser and his ship blows up.
It's extremely lazy.
Yeah, like I said, the last like half an hour of this movie is like, wow, that went by real fast. Buckaroo parachutes back to Earth and discovers that Penny is dead. But then the black electroids give Buckaroo his electric ability one more time so that his kiss revives Penny.
Well, yeah. He goes in to kiss her.
Well, what?
No, hold on. He goes in to kiss her, which is a fucking crazy move when this bitch is dead and you've had no physical relationship with this person. And his lips like electrocute.
I mean, she's a corpse at that point. Who cares, right?
Apparently.
Don't cancel me. But like, I feel like if you're a corpse, consent's kind of out the window. Do not cancel me.
Oh, we learn about Gamage's kinks every day.
It's not a kink. I'm just saying that like a dead body can't consent.
And you're not wrong. It can't consent. And her leg comes back to life in a little seductive leg move. And then he's like, oh, this must work again. So he goes to kiss her again. And then she comes to life. And there's also the guys in the cocktail bar are just listening to this man's life. So then he kisses her again. She comes back to life. And then she makes let's fuck eyes and closes the blinds. And then one of the aliens pops his fucking head in on a phone call. And it's like, so what? Big deal. While listening to them fuck. It's the craziest ending. What? This movie left me with more questions than I started with, which is crazy, because the scroll text had me with a lot of questions. I'm upset that there's not more of these, because
Oh, Rachel, there is.
Are there?
I mean, there's comic books now.
I looked up Buckaroo Banzai and only... Well, I get that there's comic books. I meant movies.
There's books, there's comics. There's a video game, but they had the video game in the movie too, which is weird.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was the Atari arcade machine that
Really?
Dr. Lizardo, on his way out of the insane asylum, electrocuted himself with.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, the two people are just playing on it. It just goes, Bzah! And then, yeah. Kevin Smith had the rights to do a movie on it for 10 minutes. And then
such a swath of time.
Kind of dropped the ball on that. Well, I think that something happened where the studio was suing the original people, and he's just whoa, and backed out.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that this movie's bananas, but in the best way. I don't know.
Yeah.
This movie's not unlike Highlander or Neverending Story, but I feel like this movie was entertaining in a good, bad way. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm so infrequently fully engaged with the things that we watch, and I was fully titillated the entire time. It was weirdly good. I truly don't understand why or how, but I was I would watch this again. I would show this to someone happily.
Is it because you had built this idea in your head that this was a Vietnam documentary?
No, I don't think so.
Because that was your only inkling as to what this movie's about going into it, was this image you built
in
up.
Vietnam.
It wasn't me saying you'll love this movie. I loved it when I was a kid, and it's about wishes or dumb shit. This was what do you think it's about? And you said some wildly.
I gotta be honest, I was picturing a cartoon, so I was startled that there was people and extremely adult themes going on the whole time.
Rachel, what did you learn from this movie? What's your takeaway? What is the text that you put down as your quote for the review of this movie?
That I could be doing. Well, I don't know if it's the quote that I'm pulling from this movie, but what I got out of this is that I could be doing more, because I am not a scientist, rock star, neurosurgeon.
There's a name for it. It's
Mary Sue? Everything Man?
No, I mean a polymath or a polyhistor. It's an individual whose knowledge spans many different subjects. It's
I have approximate knowledge of many things, but I am not a polyhistor.
Like Isaac Newton, I think was, or Leonardo da Vinci were polymaths. Yeah. Or Renaissance man is another thing that it was called.
Yeah.
Basically, people in olden days, they didn't have Twitter, so they weren't able to get distracted. So they could only be
more stuff.
Exactly, yeah. If I didn't have the internet, who knows where I'd be?
Probably the moon.
Let's be honest. I'd invent the internet. I'd figure something out to get stupid.
I would figure out how to get back to this.
Basically, I'm dumb, and it's my own fault, is what I'm getting at.
That's what I got from this movie.
Anyway, that was our show. The Gamage Rabbit list is a weird playlist that my algorithm generated, so I'm going down the list in no specific order. Number 30 is Silent Planet, a progressive metalcore band that goes hard, hard, hard. And we need more metalcore in our lives, honestly, especially after Buckaroo Banzai. Buckaroo Banzai is very 80s synth. At the very end of the movie, they even have a music video kind of thing. and it's a very, it's
where
the
they
most
bring back
80s
the
song I've
cowboy
ever heard in
outfit.
my life. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The Silent Planet is not that. It's progressive metalcore. It's good. It's hard. It's yum yum.
Yum yum.
The songs that like ended up on my playlist, and then I went off of that. Antimatter, Collider, and Offworlder. I think they're all on the same album too, but they're hard. You need hard. Get up in that.
Get hard, and then get up in that.
Get hard.
Sorry, I was trying to come up with a Rachel's rabbit hole, but it felt weird to follow Get Hard and Get Up in That with Rachel's rabbit hole. So I was like, I don't think I can do this.
You could try making you doing your own thing.
Yeah, the joke was to make fun of your thing. So no. My music artist.
That
for
should
the
have been
week-
done back in March, bitch. You're way too late.
I can make fun of you on a delayed spectrum. We all know I'm not funny. Everything's gonna be like 8 weeks late. G Lune. I don't speak languages that have symbols above letters, so I apologize for butchering this. It's GLUNE with the little dash that goes up towards the end of the E. She does like indie pop. It's like, you know when you listen to like a Chappell Roan song and it makes you want to like bounce around, like it's like that kind of a vibe where
Yes.
it keeps you high energy. That's sort of what her music feels like. But she's a Colombian American singer-songwriter that does like what the fuck just happened to you?
I'm sorry. Can you spell out her name again, please?
G space LUNE.
Okay. Okay.
What?
All right. That space, very important.
What did you look up?
Why don't you try it and come back to me?
Okay, hold on. It's the big babies from Doctor Who. Yeah, there's a space between the G and the L, guys. She's not a big green monster with a baby face.
You gotta have that. I'm like, am I
Holy
missing
fuck.
something?
That's hilarious. I was like, well, when I looked it up, I was wondering what the fuck I was missing because nothing popped up. And then there's this.
Anyway, G
Masterful.
Lune.
G Lune. Emphasis on the space between the G and the L. But yeah, indie pop. It's kind of upbeat. It's got like R&B jazzy stuff because that's everything that I suggest to you has R&B jazzy things. But yeah, just kind of fun.
I think that's just the modern thing now. Like everything's kind of has R&B jazz
Yeah, and I'm
or 80s kind of vibes.
Super into it.
Like the new Tyler the Creator album is like a lot of just that too. And that's just what everybody's doing now is it's kind of reliving jazzy, funky, and or 80s.
Jazzy,
pop,
funky
synth.
funk. But the song I will suggest to you is Blocked by G Lune. G space Lune.
Sorry, what was that?
Blocked.
I didn't hear it.
You disappoint me.
Oh,
every
you know what?
day.
I think you were blocked is what that was.
Shut the fuck up. Thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard or you also think Gamage is a dumb bitch, please like and subscribe on whatever your most favorite is podcasting places. If you want us to talk about a thing, you can email us at whtpah@gmail.com. That's at gmail.com. You can also find us at We Have That Podcast at Home, all one gigantic word on Instagram. Fact Checker posts things there. My brother thinks they're funny and he's a youth, so you should trust him. And you can also find us at WHTPAH on Blue Sky. That's what on Blue Sky. And next week we will be tackling the illustrious and fine art of
Revel in that silence. Doesn't it feel good?
shockingly, it's pop culture.
What are we gonna do for that? Another pop culture? Is that legal?
Another, I don't know. Is this illegal?
How about we watch The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai 2?
Is there a second one?
No, there isn't. We gotta pick something else.
Damn it.
I apologize. I guess we'll figure this out off air.
The disappointment. Deception.
Well, I've been
Disgrace.
off-brand Gamage.
And I've been annoying Gamage, which is particularly on brand for me, Rachel. And this has been We Have That Podcast at Home.